How
What's
are
that?
you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. Hanging in there. How are you doing? How's everything shaping up so far?
It's good. It's fantastic, actually. I'm really enjoying myself these days.
Nice. So, first of all, congratulations on such a brilliant film. I loved it. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy you enjoyed it.
I'm a huge horror fan, so I like the way this psychological thriller was given the horror movie treatment. That's
Yeah.
that's what I liked as a fan. So, as an actor, what was the biggest draw for you?
So the how the story was going to be executed. There are a few things like James himself being this positive figure, this upstanding man, this from this point of security. That's what I really liked. Being able to show that, and then also the psychological aspect of it to me is in our reality one of the truest points of horror, because when you deal with that, mental manipulation, all these games that people play, um, that's real true horror, and how they weaved it into the story, and how it was brought into this sort of relevant issue right now that a lot of people are going through when it comes to being in situations with domestic violence. I thought it had a great message about this person who has to go through this tough thing, but they have to fight for themselves and they have to find their own strength. And she did it. So there are a few things that I said, what, this seems awesome. I can't wait to jump on board.
I also love seeing the genuine platonic friendship between James and Cecilia. It was so pure, so honest. So, what was the conversation with Lee and Elizabeth like surrounding that dynamic?
It was just really about that, about the truth of the situation. She's coming from this really horrendous environment, and she's looking for safety. We have to show that real safety. There can be no other agenda, because then it kind of distracts you a little bit. And it's like you start looking at James a little funny, like, what's going on? you know, but we really wanted to explore and accentuate the real value of what their friendship is. They've known each other since they were kids. And for me, just as an actor, that's something I was excited to show on screen, because very rarely do we get to see it in its platonic element in terms of a friendship between a man and a woman, where it's just that. And it is refreshing. It was one of my favorite parts about getting to play James.
It was definitely refreshing. Also, you and Storm have a very sweet father-daughter bond on screen. So, how do you guys work on that?
I mean, that was sort of a natural take off of, us just working with each other and getting to know each other. She's a fantastic young woman. Honestly, when I was talking to Lee about my perspective for the relationship, the father-daughter relationship, it was sort of like I built a lot of it off my relationship with my little sister, who is 10 years younger than me. So I helped raise my little sister, and we have still to this day a very, very special bond. So I use that as my blueprint for the relationship between James and Sydney.
Some of the scenes are so intense. That hallway scene where you're fighting the Invisible Man, I found out you were fighting by yourself. There was no green suit.
Yeah, that was cool. It was a cool opportunity. It was one I did not want to mess up, because I could have easily. But we had a fantastic Stunt team that kept me in line, and I was really happy with the work that I was able to do, and I was really happy with that the support they gave me and how they trained me and got me right for it. It was some of the most fun that I've had on a set in a while. And I kind of missed that day, actually. I kind of want to go back to it.
Elizabeth said that that scene is one of the greatest physical acting accomplishments she's ever seen in her life.
Oh, wow, really? Wow, that's a super high compliment. Wow. I mean, I appreciate it. I will accept it. I will take it. But again, we had a fantastic stunt team. My first week working there was training with the stunt team and making sure that we got that right. The reactions were looking right. They shot with a fantastic rig, this camera that they built on a rig. It's the same setup that they used for Lee's other movie, Upgrade. So, for them, they had a natural style that they were already going to apply. And that's what got me excited about the visual look of the film. The very first time I saw how the stunt scenes were, and I saw Elizabeth's stunt scenes, I said, oh my God, this is something people are not going to be ready for. So I just did not want to mess it up.
Speaking of Elizabeth, she's fantastic. I can't imagine like working with her as an actor, just trying to work off of what she feeds off. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, yeah, no, she is fantastic. I mean, for her in this genre, she just understands everything intrinsically well. She does it, you know, the truth that she's able to display when it comes to the fear and when it comes to creating the, you know, entire scenario of her state of mania, you know, being able to believe that. She had a heavy load on her shoulders when it came to this job, and she carried it like effortlessly. So, you know, my hat's off to her.
I heard you're interested in directing and producing as well. So what would you say you took away from working with Lee, who's such a talented director?
Just vision. You know, Lee, he wrote this thing, directed it. He knew everything top to bottom. He was very precise with his execution. And as far as like, I remember studying his tactics when it came to laying out and drawing out the suspense, you know, because this is a suspense thriller that plays into horror with many different notes. And if you don't get the suspense right, you don't get the horror. So he understood how to tie it all together. Plus, he was very creative with how he you know, mixed in what was relevant and sort of the fantastical ideas of bringing the Invisible Man to life and making it real. So he was very clever with that. I just, you know, I studied his candor with everything and the way he just maintained his team, keeping everybody on the same page.
And lastly, if you were the Invisible Man for a day, what would you do?
I don't know.
Because I know I would scare all my friends, so.
Probably do some illegal things that would get me in trouble. Like I might, I don't know, I might rob a bank. I'm just kidding. No. What I would do is probably go up into a few of these offices in these studios and drop my name and like my headshot everywhere and like rewrite people's notes to say Aldis Hodge is playing such and such, just so I can get myself a few more jobs is what I'm doing. You know, oh, I don't remember writing it, but it's right there in your email, sir. It's right there on your notes. It's out the top. So
that's a smart one. What's your favorite scary movie? I take great pleasure in asking this.
My favorite scary movie. Are you talking about Invisible Man Excluded?
Yes, of course.
Invisible Man Excluded. What would be my favorite scary movie? You know, I think Friday the 13th really messed me up as a kid. I would have to say, nah, you know what? Nightmare on Elm Street. That's it. Nightmare on Elm Street really shook me as a kid. Freddy Krueger getting into your dreams, I was afraid to sleep. So, yeah.
I love that one as well. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Aldis, for the chat, and wishing you all the best on your future projects as well.
Thank you very much.
Like I said, you were fantastic in this. Thank you.